Hi, everybody. I'm Galit Ventura-Rozen. I'm a women empowerment and business mentor. And I'm really excited today because I have Barbara Beckley with me from Chicago.
Hello.
Oh, it's so much fun
Hello.
because I get to talk to people from all over the world. So Barbara is the Chicagoland chapter leader of Women's Prosperity Network, LLC. Did I do good?
Yes, you
Yay.
did wonderful.
So I know it's a mouthful, right? I'm going to go ahead and let you tell everybody a little bit about you. And I'm really excited about the topic we're going to be speaking about. So we'll jump into that first. So please, Barbara, take it away.
Okay, first of all, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity, Galit. I really
You're
appreciate it.
welcome.
I'm in the same zone with you, woman empowerment. And a few years ago, I didn't even know how to speak. I wasn't talking to people. I wasn't networking with anybody. And I told myself 7 years moving forth now, I said, I need to step it up. And that's what I did. But before I stepped it up, there was a lot of things within me that I went through tragically. So with starting, and I'll get a little more into that a little later, about starting the Women's Prosperity Network chapter in Chicago, I told myself that I am going to pay it forward with the women that are hurting. There's a lot of emotions going on with women inside, and I had a lot of them myself, and I said, I want to share this with women. So that's one of the reasons why I want to be the chapter leader for Chicagoland Women's Prosperity Network, and to know that, ladies, every woman out there has a diamond in them. That's my motto.
I love that. I love that.
Well, I think that's a good delay. So I just wanted to, can I get into some of my
Yes,
stories?
please tell them a little bit about you and why you chose this path. And then we'll jump right into your topic because it's so wonderful.
Okay, well, I chose this path because, and I don't have any kind of, I don't have no hidden agendas, because I feel like you have to expose yourself so you can connect with others and help with them. So real quickly, because I know I don't have much time, there's been 4 tragedies in my life that I had. First, when I was 17 years old, my father was murdered. They never found who the person was, and I had to live without my rock. I called it my rock, and it was just me and my mother. So at 17 years old, just about to graduate from high school, just about to graduate by senior year, this happened to me. That was one tragedy. Another tragedy, at the age of 21, I was raped. Okay? And then moving forward into my 40s, I found out that I have uterus cancer, and I had to get a hysterectomy done. So out of those 4, I call them 4 because, first of all, losing my rock in my life really was devastating to me. He loved me. I was basically his baby girl. And one thing about my father, he always told me, no matter what you do, Barbara, make sure you educate yourself and you go toward the fullest of education. And I remember that after he passed away, and I told myself, I am going to either drop out of high school, don't get the education, and go the wrong way, or honor my father and say, I'm going to go to college and move forward in that, which I did get 2 degrees after that.
Good for you.
From that point, every time something happened in my life, instead of looking at it as a negative, I said, this is a stepping stone for me to prove to myself that I can do it and move forward, and don't let those tragedies stop me.
I love that. And you have definitely gone through your share of much more tragedy than the normal person has to in their life. And I'm sure that you don't wish that upon anyone. But what I love most of all, and I'm so glad, I love technology and internet just because of this. Barbara and I connected in one of the groups. I think it was the WSA, right, Barbara? I just saw a post connected. I don't know why.
Yes.
One, because I love helping people. And again, like you said, there was no agenda. And then all of a sudden, I just thought you were so amazing. I wanted you as part of our group. And then I didn't know any of this about you. It's amazing to me because this is how it works. So I think what I love most about you, and I got to read your speaker sheet, you're also a speaker, and you speak about your story, and you have your keynote speeches, which I love that you're sharing your story and you're out there helping other women. But more than anything, the topic. Share with us the topic, because I personally I've also gone through my share of tragedies, death at a very young age, and so much myself as well, Barbara. My best friend committed suicide when I was 15 years old. I was the last person she spoke to. We all have it, but we don't allow it to define us. And so I want you to share your topic because I think it's perfect for today.
Well, my topic, usually what I talk about is living your tragedies, using it as a stepping stone to make you stronger. A lot of times we take our tragedies or whatever happened in our lives and we put it and we use that as, okay, this is now something that I have to live with that I'm going to use an excuse, not a stepping stone, but an excuse of not to do what I really need to do or I need to do in this lifetime. Yes. I always tell people, no matter if you believe in, I believe in God, but everybody has their own faith. But I always tell people that you're put on this earth for a purpose. And when things happen in your life, that's part of your purpose because you have to connect with others. And if you don't have anything going on, either good or bad or ugly, I always say, then you're just kind of going through life. You're not really learning the steps and learning how to get stronger. So I always tell people, don't look at your tragedies as, oh my God, I'm just going to give up. I'm going to crawl into a hole, all that stuff, because we all been there. We all say that sometime in our head. We're not superwomen sometimes. Sometimes we do have that, I can't do it anymore. But I told upon myself, I said, I am not going to go that route. And I'm going to take you a step further by saying I want women to understand that with my stories, they can do the same thing. And that's why I never have used a long time ago, especially when I talked about the rape and a little bit about, the death of my father. But then I said, you know what, Barbara? Use that as those stepping stones. That's why I created my keynote around that and said each stepping stone is to make me stronger so I can be stronger not for myself, but for others. So now, the technique that I'm sorry.
That's okay, sweetheart. I was going to ask.
I get so excited when I talk about this subject.
You already know what I'm going to ask. So let's go ahead and give those that are watching some tips or some guidance or steps to at least get them started. Because, of course, it's not an overnight thing. There's work involved.
No, it's not. No.
But there's a place that at least they can find some hope or inspiration that it's possible to find the rainbow, as you said, on the other side. So please go ahead and share some ways that you yourself have gotten through this and what they can take away from this.
Well, like I said, I started when I was 17. Now, when you're young, you're a teenager, it's like and something like that tragic happens in your life, the first thing you're saying is, oh my God, I give up, especially with somebody that's really powerful in your life that you love them. So like I said earlier, I was an honor student in high school. I was about to graduate, and my father just passed. I had at least 2 more months before I was supposed to graduate. So what I did at that young age, first of all, my mother was not that educated. So basically, between my mother and my father wanted me to be better, even better than they were. And instead of me going into that hole, even though I was crying and going through a lot of it in my mind and saying, what am I going to do? He's gone. Something kept telling me I need to concentrate on my education. So I found something, I always call it, I'm trying to get the word out, but it's like an anchor. So I found an anchor, and that was my anchor is education. He would be proud of me. I went to school, I got into college, I told myself I need to do this. I did not want to look back. And it took a lot. Like I said, it's not easy. Like you said, Galit, it's not easy to do it. But I kept putting that reminder in front of me saying, what is my anchor? And my anchor was making my father proud.
So would the first thing that you would tell those that are watching that have gone through tragedy?
So one of the things that you need is to find an anchor in your life.
Yes.
Yes. I'm sorry, we were a little delayed.
No.
But the other step, we're doing fine? So the next step, when I basically at that time, like I said, I got older, and I went through a rape. And the first thing was I was saying, why me? Am I damaged goods? I asked myself, you ask yourself your questions. Your mind basically is your worst enemy. I always tell people, because you get these thoughts and you just start thinking all the time.
Yeah.
And that's why you always have to find that anchor. Because even with that, when I was laying in the hospital and I was beat up and bruised and, just damaged, feel like I was collateral damage, first of all, I said, okay, first of all, I still have to do my anchor with my father, for one. I still remember that. I said my second anchor is I am not going to let nobody tear me down no matter what, because I am on a journey. And I always said there's a reason why I'm going through this. It's like I'm trying to fight through that journey, and that's what I was doing. So I took another anchor, and I told myself that no matter what it is, no matter what's going on, I'm going to keep moving on. And I wound up forgiving the person that raped me. That took a whole lot as well.
Wow.
Because if you don't forgive that person, then you're going to hold a lot of animosity towards the person and even other men.
Do you know, Barbara, I always say, and aside from the rape, but anything that someone does to you, because even that is very, very a big deal.
Yeah.
But sometimes a bad relationship, or sometimes someone hurts your feelings, or someone fires you, or whatever it is, someone breaks up with you. It can be so many different things, right? I always say that when you hold on to that anger, and I always do it right here, right, Barbara? If you hold on to that anger, it doesn't affect them. They don't get affected by it. You're getting affected by it, which I always say, which means you're still giving them power over you.
Yes.
So what you're saying is so important, that sometimes it is the hardest thing in the world to forgive a bad person, and that is a bad person. And they did something really bad, but when you do, you actually benefit yourself, because they don't know if you forgive them or not, and most of the time they don't even care.
They don't. Right? They go there. I tell people they go on their merry way.
They go on their merry way. They keep doing whatever they're going to do.
Doing their life or whatever they're doing, and you're stuck there. Yeah, and you're stuck right there dealing with all the hurt and the pain and everything that they caused you. So you need to make sure that don't let your inner person.
I love that. Those are two great pieces of advice. Is there anything else I love this. What else can we tell everyone?
And the other thing that I do is go to YouTube, go on Google, wherever, and find every motivational video that you can find and listen to that video during the day at work. If you put your headphones on, I do it here all the time. When you're in your car, hook up YouTube instead of hearing your favorite, whatever song, put on that motivational video. When you're at home, when you're like doing around the house, always have something positive going in your ears here. Because believe me, if you have nothing going on here, then all that other negative is going to go in there. So keep pumping it in there. And that's what I do every day. Like even when I leave this interview, I'm going back to my desk at work and I'm going to pump the motivation in my ear, because that's the only way to get you, because you have to condition yourself to think positive, because it's so easy to think negative. Sometimes it's difficult to think positive because you're thinking of all the negative stuff. Because like I said, your mind always try to control you more.
And also we're natural worriers, we're natural what ifs, we're natural. It's so much easier to go negative than positive. And I think the conditioning for me relates to consistency. A lot of people that watch women like you and I think, how are they so positive? How do they wait? We're human. We fall apart.
Excuse me.
Right? We do what we do too, right? But the difference is we recognize the strength and the power and consistency. So there isn't a magic formula that one day you could read this book and everything's better. Make sure you handle that in your life every single day. I start my morning out like that every day. Meditation. And I love something called flow dreams. I don't know if you're aware of it, but they're 10 to 15 minutes. They're perfect. I can listen to them while I'm putting on my makeup, while I'm driving in the car. And then I've also always got a book on Audible that's ready for me right now. It's Gabby Bernstein's The Universe Has Got My Back. And so it just depends on my mood. I switch around with my books. So I'm just like you. You've got to have that. So those are such wonderful, wonderful pieces of advice. And I think that anyone that's watching that's holding on, I'm going to use that, holding on to a tragedy and allowing it to control you and affect you and have power over you in your life every single day. Look at Barbara. She's gone through so much more than the average person in her life, and she is choosing to turn it around into positivity, inspiring, empowering. So, Barbara, tell people a little bit about your chapter. Those that aren't in Chicago, I want them to understand they can still get involved.
Yes. So I'm a part of the chapter called Women's Prosperity Network. I started the chapter in Chicagoland area in March of this year. Woohoo! I'm very excited about it. every month, women get together and we talk about different topics regarding branding, all the way to personal issues or items, and we together collaborate. I don't stand up there and just talk. I have the women, we come together in different groups and we talk about different things, like-minded. Also, you can sign up. It's a membership phase, and you can go online, womensprosperityNetwork.com, and you can either sign up if you want to go to a chapter within your area. There are different chapters. Hopefully you're in the Chicagoland area to come to me. And if you need to contact me, please, I'm at wpnchicago@gmail.com.
Perfect. And is there a way, if somebody wants to be included in the Chicago chapter at all, is there a way for them to do it? Do you guys offer any live streaming or anything, or is it more find a chapter in your area?
Right now it's in person, but I am starting next month to start doing live streaming. So we're going to be meeting in person and then once on virtual.
Perfect.
A lot of women have been
So
asking about it, so we're going to have that.
Perfect. So there is an opportunity to potentially be included virtually as well in the upcoming months.
Yes, there is.
Perfect. All right. Yeah. And thank you so much for talking to us.
Thank you. Thank you.
Spreading your message. I'm so happy to have you as part of the group. I mean, this happened so fast. I think we connected.
No.
I'm like, Barbara, we need you to be interviewed.
We connected.
Yeah, which is crazy because I have the next 5 weeks booked, so it just worked out perfectly. So yeah, it's so nice to meet you, and I'm glad we connected, and thank you so much for sharing your inspiration with the world.
No problem. We'll always do that to help other women. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.